Champions League, episode 9.
Diving.
What do we get called them?
We need some Balotelli in Champions League.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Hasta la vista, Bayern. What up? Welcome back. Diving for Glory, Champions League, episode 9. Should be 10, but we had to play behind closed doors last week. Sorry y'all weren't privy to it. Of course, Yola, Sir Solomon, what up?
What's up?
All right. As always mentioned, Diving for Glory posts every Monday. That's our regular episodes. And every Thursday after Champions League. Most of the time. 99% of the time. Yes. But we're back, bitches. Round of 16's over. Don't forget you can check us on Twitter and Facebook at Diving for Glory. And don't forget we are on iTunes, divingforglory.com, and YouTube. That's our shit. Jump right into it, man. Word. Start you off on Tuesday's games. And that will bring us to... We want to do this chronologically. Word. That brings us to Ajax and Real Madrid. Nice. No, it doesn't. Borussia Dortmund hosting Tottenham.
What?
Or am I a week off?
Yeah.
Whoops. See? I'm already like that. All right, we'll start with the champions. The City, the Manchester City Premier League champs, defending champs, 7-0 on Schalke, smash City.
Yeah, in the Champions League, you can't say we'll start with the champions.
Absolutely, I can.
Juventus are champions. Barcelona are champions.
I know.
So, it's ridiculous and redundant. But anyways, yeah, they beat the shit out of a Schalke team that announced like a day before that they wouldn't play their first team because they're in the midst of trying to get themselves relegated. So they're so worried that they decided to play the second team. They got rocked 7-0, and as of today, they do not have a manager. He got shit canned.
Really? After this match, huh?
Today, this morning, yes.
Damn. I guess, huh?
Yeah, sometimes we get it. But I mean, it wasn't because of this match. It was aggregate because like they're one place away from being in the relegation playoff spot, and for a team that has finished second and close to Champions League spots and stuff, it's unacceptable, and they might have to go.
Finished second last year, matter of fact. Manchester City spending goals here, seven fucking goals. I mean,
they had already had it in the bag, and then the team is not chasing it, so you can't really look to, like, yeah, they scored nice goals, but like it wasn't a game that they were really contested hard by the opponents. So with the fitness and the form and needing playing time, everybody on Manchester City is going to play hardcore, and this is what happens when you play a team that can't handle them.
7-0, they advance on a 10-2 aggregate. There's not even really much to say here because one team didn't show up to play.
Basically.
And the result says so.
Yeah, and the only unfortunate situation, to be honest, is that the manager gets fired today because you should have fired him beforehand if you thought he could have done better. Like, they look like ass.
They had crawled out of the relegation zone and then they dipped back into it with poor form as of late, and that will get you sacked, bro. So, Manchester City advanced to the quarterfinals, which is one step further. No, which is exactly where they got eliminated last year. So, moving along, that same day, Juventus hosting Atletico Madrid.
Not just that same day, but that same fucking time.
No, that's right.
Yeah, we could have played 1 at 2 and 1 at 4 and sat down and enjoyed 2 good Champions League games, but that would make too much sense.
Yes, bitch about it, Sir Solomon.
Like, why do I have to have my cell phone for one of the games? Like, why can't I sit down comfortably in front of a TV and watch a good game?
You have the most popular sport in the fucking world, and you have the most, probably the most prestigious tournament of that sport, outside of the World Cup. But and you don't do the right things with it, man. What the hell?
So it's like, all right, you have to settle for weekday games. At least maximize those. Like, present 2 options just by being worldwide. Like, maybe somebody can watch the earlier and not the later. Like, you can just to make it all in at the same time when you don't have that many games just seems ridiculous.
Yeah, when there's not like a bunch of, you're right, when there's not like 4 or 5 games, and there's only 2.
Yeah, if there's only 2 games, why are we having them overlap?
Why did you stagger them? And why are they staggered like a month apart and a week apart? Like, dude, play them all on one day.
If that's what you're gonna do, then let's go all in and just play a bunch of games at once and just finish the tournament quicker.
Yeah.
But this system is just stupid.
Anyway, Juventus, and considering that game, they came into this game 2-0 down, did not score an away goal, so Atleti have that in their back pocket, but that didn't seem to matter as they met up with their...
They have a lot more in their back pocket now.
They met up with their arch-rival nemesis, no longer on Real Madrid, but still torturing them for Juventus.
As the first game ended, when they were leaving the stadium, I don't know if you saw it, there was so many. First off, Diego Simeone did his grabbing his dick fucking celebration. And he got suspended for that duly. But as Ronaldo was going from the locker rooms to the bus, they were harassing him, the Atletico fans, and he turned around and he was in Spanish or whatever, but he's like, Champions League, you 0, me 5. And I was like, damn, that's petty, but at the same time I was thinking dude, they think they poked the bear. They poked the bear a little too much. Yeah. And then we find out that fucking Patrice Evra is texting him yo, you gonna do it? And 5 days before he's like, yeah, at home we're gonna fucking smash him. He sent him a text like that, and so he comes in, and Ronaldo's 7'4". That's what it felt like, dude. Every aerial, every loose ball, he was just coming down on these guys. And it has been a long time since I've seen one man single-handedly just intimidate the shit out of a bully-ass team.
Yeah, and he did that. 3 goals. Hat-tricky.
The first goal really set the mood or whatever for the night, because he came behind the defender, out-jumped him, was basically over him when he headed it down, hits off the crossbar, and on live TV you can hear the fucking crossbar ping. And not the crossbar, the post. But he hits it off the post so beautifully, and after that, it looked like they were shook. And the rest of the game, they kind of played shook and were really playing the prevent defense, which they weren't really going after it the way Atletico does.
5 total shots, none on target. I saw an article, or at least a headline, that I didn't bother to read because I already knew it. It's like Griezmann's not on these guys' levels, man. He's not on a Ronaldo level. He's not on a Messi level. And a game like this kind of proves it.
There's only 2 guys on that level.
I agree. I'm just saying that
I was actually
Griezmann's the guy. He's the one talking that shit, though. It's not like people are saying that about Griezmann. It's Griezmann talking that shit.
Exactly. And Sergio Ramos put him in his place about a year ago, and he's been shut up since a night. That's one of the few times I've completely agreed with Sergio Ramos. But I get Griezmann's point. One thing you can respect about him is that he carries a much larger offensive burden than they do. But at the same time, you have to take over these moments. I remember when Sergio Aguero played for Atletico Madrid, and he would score in big games against Barca, regularly. Mm-hmm. And
yeah, I don't even think Griezmann is Aguero level.
That's what I'm trying to say. When you're like Messi and Ronaldo, I'm put that to sleep.
Yeah.
You know, that's some bullshit award ceremony fucking where Messi comes in 5th in the world. Like, that whole system is broken. But, like, this dude is 3-4 steps behind them, you know? Like you said, Aguero, I would say even Hazard. You know, like, these guys are ahead of him. Like, and I don't know. If anybody's going to reach, like, their kind of levels, it's closer to be Mbappe than him. He's already late.
One goal is all they needed. They just needed fucking one goal, and they would have advanced in a 3-1 game. And they couldn't get it, and they didn't even look They didn't even look like they would threaten.
It looked like the bully met their fucking bully, and he owns them. He completely owned them. And then that third goal, like, they didn't even need to score a goal. They just needed to not give up a penalty.
Yeah.
And that penalty was that, like, you know how the mental breakdown you have after just chasing the ghosts all day? The kid got the ball at midfield, dribbled around the guy, went down the wing, and then decided to make a horizontal run across the penalty area, right. And the guy pushed him from behind.
Yep.
And like there was nothing happening. There was no reason for it.
Yep.
And that shows you that they were just like so shook. They were in their heads that.
Which is right, which is crazy.
You saw Chiellini and Morata? That's what that was what it looked like. Like he put him in his pocket. Morata running around acting like shit, but like Chiellini was in his head, you know?
Yep. And to your point, you know, that's very much like an athletic type of thing to do, and they got out athletic basically.
Yeah. You remember how last year the second half of that Tottenham knockout game against Juventus and it felt like Chiellini and them had put him in a cage?
Yep.
It kind of looked like that. Like there was no openings, which is funny because Juventus's midfield is slow.
Yep.
Like Emre Can and Pjanic are two statues. They can play good football, but like if you ping the ball around a little bit, you can get around them.
Yep.
And yet they were not exposed for being that. They looked glorious in this game. And I'm like, if you can't execute such simple things, how are you going to stop Ronaldo? If like the guys, his support guys, you can't even stop.
Yeah, true. What is it? 33-year-old Ronaldo? Is that how old he is?
33-year-old Ronaldo. 33-year-old young. You know who did a lot of things at 33? Jesus.
Bet you he ain't take a cornhole though.
He gonna get killed though. That's what it is. Lesson history.
Oh man. Yes, very anti-revolutionaryist. But with all that being said, man, Juventus fucking progress, which is exactly what they bought Ronaldo for these type of games, these type of moments. Dybala's been kind of relegated to a role player at this moment.
Fucking Bernardeschi was balling out.
Bernardeschi was nice, yeah.
Ronaldo's finishes were good. One of it, like we said, was a penalty, but like he had some, like he really balled out. Yep. But they dominated them at a lot of positions. Bernardeschi on the wing was like absolutely the left back.
Well, wouldn't you agree with the idea that just having Ronaldo in your locker room though kind of ups everybody else? Because it's like the expectation of what your performance should be is like different, and
absolutely.
you see it
and you can see it in Real Madrid's performances, and like
I think Karim Benzema even said it.
Yeah,
he's like we used to play for Ronaldo,
and they're also going back and forth like and talking shit about each other now because they don't have a leader. Ronaldo used to be the guy that used to take all the interviews. Now you hear Rico Modric talking his nonsense. He's like, Ronaldo used to score 50. These guys don't even score 20. It's like, oh, we didn't know people talk like this.
Yeah.
Everybody only has Ronaldo. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Now everybody like Navas giving out interviews. This is, but like losing the star.
Yeah.
It's like cutting off the head and then like new heads grow out. You know?
Yeah, those are things a lot of times that I don't think people, whether it be fans or even executives sometimes, just don't take into account.
Exactly. Is how much of the brand like the person carries. Like it's not even just in terms of like the field, but in locker room, in interviews.
That's the difference between a United team that finishes second with Jose Mourinho with fucking Zlatan on it versus one that doesn't. Because Zlatan was like an enforcer for him in a way, and like a guy who kind of represented like I'm down with Jose. Y'all need to be down too. You ain't see all that type of what do you want to call questioning of the manager going on. when Zlatan was there.
I think if he had stayed, it would still happen.
Even if Zlatan was there.
He was daring them to go against him. Like,
He was. No, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? But, sorry, I wanted to really mention Spinazzola on the left back.
Yeah. DJ
Ball,
Spinazzola.
dude, he spin all over motherfuckers. So Niguez and Arias could not handle him at all. They just, it was a professional performance against a team that needs to bully you into playing outside of your style for them to succeed. And Juventus looked like Juventus were playing against Kiev at home. Like, they just kept playing their football.
Yeah.
And that's what happens, you know?
Yes, so Juventus make it to the quarterfinals. I believe that's where they got bounced last year as well, right? No, they got bounced in the semis last year.
Yeah.
To Real Madrid. Well, they'll be hoping they progress at least that far. We'll see what the draw is like. The draw is tomorrow, if you didn't know. Moving along, though, next game, Barcelona hosting Lyon. This was a 0-0 first leg, and that's always dangerous for the home team, in my opinion, just because, a tie does you no good. You're going to lose that. So Barcelona...
It depends. A 0-0 tie does nobody any good. But yeah, you're right. It's never good to go into your home leg without an away goal. But at the same time, coming in without conceding any goals is always a good thing. And
home field advantage.
Yeah, home field advantage. And there's something to be said by, you're right. You always, even whether you're home or away, going into the second game, you want to have goals and the other team to not have scored, right? But this game, Lyon were not at all prepared for it. I think, after playing the first leg with a clearly, you just talked about Mr. Ronaldo and how having somebody like that in your team changes the game. Mm-hmm. In the first leg, Messi was not even supposed to be back from injury and was clearly not 100%, and you could tell that. And they were, even at other positions, they weren't as strong. And when he's not ticking the way he does, it feels like they're so super dependent upon him that they kind of stop.
Yep.
It
always seems like that.
Yeah.
I think there was one little run, maybe either last year or the year before, when he was injured.
When Neymar and Suarez were nice at the beginning of the season.
Yeah. That was about it. That's all the time that I've been watching Barcelona.
That was 3 years ago.
Yeah. They've always struggled when he's out.
So
this is 2-0.
Off of that, they came a 0-0, and then this goes 2-0
at half, and then you said 2 start.
The 1-0 is controversial because the guy was going for the sliding tackle, and Luis Suarez just stepped on his foot while he was sliding.
And they VAR'd that?
Yeah, because there was contact, because he just, you could tell, at full speed, he just stepped on his fucking foot as he was tackling him. And, if you want to translate it as a referee, you wouldn't be, disbarred or something, but, if you're just going to use a little common sense, and, that's why VAR is around, speaking of VAR, we'll go back to the Juventus game really, 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 really quickly.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And as soon as the game started, within 3 minutes, Chiellini had scored a goal. But Ronaldo was adjudged by VAR by first to go the referee, and then confirmed by VAR to have fouled the goalkeeper. Which, there was no foul. It was a loose ball, he was free to go to it, he got it, and it could have been 3-0 in the 3rd minute, and that is how fucking strong they were.
You watched this game. I didn't see this penalty. How did the VAR take forever? Because it was taking fucking forever in the other Champions League games that I saw where VAR came into play.
Oh, no. The Barca game? No, not at all.
It was quick?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they kind of now there's some controversy because they were claiming VAR was down or communication or something, and then the Lyon president, who's known to talk a lot, is now saying different things about it. But this past Champions League round has shown us that, we get it. There's a need for replay. Okay, we can't have billions and whatever invested in something and just be oh, well, when mistakes are made. So I understand it. But to assume that you just press replay or rewind and everything is going to be fixed is ridiculous, because an idiotic decision can be an idiotic decision with VAR.
Oh, for sure.
And it happens more often than you think. It has happened in pretty much 40-50% of the matches in this past round.
Yeah, so, and as we've been saying this whole time, like, they just kind of, to just start using it randomly, you know, like, oh, okay, we're going to use it for the knockout rounds.
We're going to use it for Real Madrid games in the Champions League to take away goals for their opposition. And then, when the team actually scored against Real Madrid and the ball had gone out of bounds, they didn't pull that one back.
Yeah. So it's funny to me, but it's here to stay now. It's in like say, can't put the rabbit back in the hat. So be it.
So they score one. Leon still needs just one.
Yep.
They ball out immediately. Messi threw pass to Suarez. Suarez gets the goalkeeper to commit, and then just spoon feeds Coutinho a goal. Who fucking needs a goal? So fucking bad.
So that's first half. Second half, they come back 2-1, pull one back.
Yeah, scores one. It was actually a nice goal, like off of a loose ball. Ball's been jumping around. He controls it on his chest and volleys it into the goal.
So, a couple things happen here after that. Coutinho comes off. Dembele comes on. Dembele was a question mark for this game, as he had pulled up lame, I believe, the last Champions League game or the last La Liga game, I believe.
He played in the last La Liga game as a sub.
And
he had
pulled up right again, right?
Yes.
And so he comes on, and not shortly thereafter, I'm not sure how much.
He pulled up actually in the Real Madrid game.
Barca go on a tear.
Yeah. He helped a lot, got very vertical. He brings the speed that they lack. It's a very stodgy team in terms of like moving when he's not there, and he really stretches it out. Even when he's not, this is why I think that Malcolm should play over Coutinho if a midfield position is not available, because a natural winger will stretch the field the way they need it to be stretched, whereas Coutinho keeps running into the middle of the field and causing a traffic jam, bottleneck.
Yep.
So Dembele does that, but at a fucking high cost, because now he's out for a month.
So that was going to be the question. Like, he was a question mark for this game. They already were talking about his hammy. I've seen this happen a couple times already this season with other teams. But why did they play him? Why do you still play him?
Because he got nervous and he needed the game.
Man.
If Leon had scored and made that game 2-2, and they finished 2-2, Valverde gets fired in the morning. Understand that?
Yeah. I mean, what are they going to do without him for a month?
Who gives a fuck?
I got my job for a month.
No, the maximum you're going to really need him for is the next Champions League round.
Yep.
And at most, he'll miss the first leg. So, in terms of, the guy would gladly do this again, if,
Okay.
If it was like back-to-back and there's a Champions League game coming up in a week, I think they might look at it different. But like, sitting out games, and they're not really, I looked through the games, they're not a lot of tough games, so it's not the worst.
I think they got Atletico Madrid, but
It might be
during
over
that time.
by then.
Yeah, it might be over by then. Word up. So, Barcelona, and this has to be like their 15th year or something straight quarterfinals or something. It's a lot of years in a row, I know that. But they advance. Last game of the round. 7 of the 8 spots are taken, and you have another 0-0 first leg between Bayern Munich and Liverpool. This game is at Bayern Munich. Liverpool come in and
destroy them. Take away their shit. Like, Liverpool scored 4 goals and won 3-1. Even the sole goal that Bayern Munich scored is an own goal by a Liverpool defender. Sadio Mane starts off the proceedings with a fucking spin move on Manuel Neuer, who is not even a shadow of the Manuel Neuer that used to dominate. If they're going to play going forward with him starting as their goalkeeper as opposed to, and I'm talking about the German national team, I think that Ter Stegen should be the national team goalkeeper over this guy by far. And he fucked up big up Mane for the spin move and the shot, but Ter Stegen fucked up on that.
Yeah, he had no business coming out.
He shouldn't have been out there. And then Matip started to fuck up a little bit. He was like, oh shit, it's just Matip. And he scored an own goal. But Van Dijk was having none of that. He got up high. He's already about 8'9" or some shit with a 99-inch vertical.
Yeah.
He just completely dunked it all over these bitches.
Yeah. Mane was nice. Van Dijk doing his thing like he's been doing. Jordan Henderson went off early in this game, injured, and Fabinho came in. That might have been a little bit of a blessing for them.
Yes, it was. Actually, all Liverpool fans, even on Twitter, were losing their mind about it, and then Henderson got injured and comes off. But the first half, Bayern Munich really dominated. But in the second half, it never looked like they were going to take it back. So,
yeah, I saw.
They didn't show the heart, and I don't think that this is why I don't know if, unless they beat Dortmund this season, I don't know about Kovac's future, because all that game needed with Bayern Munich's talent was somebody to really, really motivate them to go hardcore, and they played like some pussies in that game.
At home.
And Lewandowski, after the game, said that we played too defensively, we didn't come hard, and it's like, what does that mean?
Yeah, Lewandowski missed a really nice cross from Serge Gnabry, but they didn't have a lot of opportunities in this game, man. Van Dijk had these boys in his pocket.
Yeah, but I thought that let's say Van Dijk and Lewandowski cancel each other out. I thought that the way that Bayern played, they should have had a lot more options to ask questions of a team that had Matip and Robertson and Trent is a nice right back, but he's a nice right back going forward. Like he could really go at him if they wanted to. But the way they played, Liverpool wanted the game more. They were coached better. They believed their coach more, and they just executed like what they were told to do. And the deserving team by far won.
Yeah, absolutely. So Liverpool move along, quarterfinals. Let's talk a little bit about the final 8. So to run that down,
where would Klopp's career be if he didn't have beating Bayern on it? If he just takes that off his resume?
I mean, for a guy who coached in
he went from Germany to become famous, and now his most famous one is becoming the Bayern. So I'm just messing with you. He got to the Champions League final last year, so there's football and shit, and they won games.
He's good at losing finals, that's for sure. So Tottenham, Ajax, Manchester United, Porto, Manchester City, Juventus, Barcelona, Liverpool. There's a number of storylines here. I think one of them is the fact that 4 English teams are in it. Ajax, young team, upsetting Real Madrid, and United with Solskjaer sneaking PSG.
Remember what happened last time for Premier League teams got to the quarterfinal?
They all got smacked.
Barca won it.
Barca won it, and that was
2009.
9? Yeah. No doubt.
So hopefully history repeats itself. Hey.
Well, we shall see. I was just going to say, so the next question I had for you is, I'm a City guy, you're a Barcelona guy, and I think you would say just by name here, you'd say, Porto and Ajax, those are the preferred draws. Who would you prefer to see?
I would very much prefer to see Porto and Ajax. Ajax more because they're not that fast. I think that Daley Blind and their defense can be gotten at, and even on the fast break, they're not a hugely fast team. And they got Real Madrid at a bad time, and good for them, but they're not even one of the dominant Dutch teams, like Dutch Ajax teams. They're not clearly in front place in Holland and stuff, Porto, same thing. They got a Roma team at a bad time, but they were supposed to get bounced, So Barca playing against the 37-year-old Iker Casillas, we can go, Messi has like 25 goals against him in his career, so. But yeah, it would be I think these would be easier. And I think that the fact that the Premier League competition is so high and they play against each other so much, they're primed and much more ready right now. You know what I'm saying?
A possible smorgasbord of fascinating matchups. I'm sure, obviously, some of them will be massively entertaining. Anything in particular? Any matchup you'd like to see?
You're gonna be surprised. I want to see Tottenham Juventus again.
You want to see that again?
I want to see that again. I want to see what happens.
That's what my Tottenham informant says. He wants to fight his bullies.
I want to see Tottenham Juventus. I would like to see a Barca Manchester City at some point in this tournament. I don't think that, like, if you were asked me what my if I would have my druthers, I do not want to face one of the bigger teams next round, but I think that Barca has it within them to beat all of them. And
you're gonna have to be, at the very least, you have to beat two of these major teams left to win it all, I would think.
You can get lucky and beat one.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, it should be interesting. It could be. What if all four teams draw each other?
Yeah, I know. Liverpool, Barcelona, Juventus, City.
No,
or all the English teams.
Yeah,
that'd be fascinating.
And
too.
they're both on, because we find out at this level where like who the semifinals are too. You know, like because like with the bracket,
really? So it
comes out as a bracket now.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna know from here on out. So imagine if they're on one side and they don't have to leave England and they're just caged up in there and they just knock each other out and just send one person for a final.
That'd be nice. It'd be exciting. A nice a Manchester derby in the fucking Champions League. That'd be fascinating.
It'd be interesting.
Well,
but if like to me though, the most intriguing at the next level, if possible, is actually a Manchester City Liverpool.
Yeah,
I would like them to meet as many times as possible, and there to be as much animosity as possible in this fucking championship, so that even next season it carries over.
Yeah, no, I agree. Between Pep and Klopp and their history in Germany and what happened last year, what's happening right this year, it would be a fascinating continuation of that storyline. I like my Tottenham informant always talks about wanting to beat the best teams, and I'm like, man, fuck that. Give me Porto. I'll see these. You got to beat some tough teams if you're going to win Champions League. But yeah, it would be about 5 times sweeter to beat Liverpool on the way to winning Champions League.
Yeah.
But trust me, it would still be fucking sweet,
like
no matter what.
Real Madrid's path outside of last season, most of the years they didn't, and even including down to last season, Real Madrid did not play Barca in the Champions League, right? So fuck this. I want to play the best shit. They won 4 Champions Leagues while at the same time getting shit on by Barca regularly in their league.
Yep.
So,
you need some luck. You need some luck with the draw. You
matchups,
need some luck with the calls,
with everything,
injuries.
with injuries.
You need some luck.
So, I wouldn't like if you want to watch them play against a nice team and they can have a nice Spursy story and you can go home. That's nice too.
Yeah, yeah, for real.
But you played against a nice team last year. I hope you enjoyed it. You might have gone further if you played Monaco.
Yeah. All right, man. That's that. That is our Champions League episode. Draw tomorrow morning, I believe, at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. That is. We will be hitting you Monday. Probably mention these matchups, even though they're about 3 or 4 weeks away. I believe it's the second week of April, 1st or 2nd, I think. Either way, man, tune in. Diving for Glory.
Yeah, April 1st week, yeah.
Yeah, the 2nd or 5th or some shit. Anyway, Diving for Glory, man, posts every Monday, posts every Thursday after Champions League. iTunes, YouTube, divingforglory.com. Hit us up, iTunes, rate us, find us at Twitter and on Twitter and Facebook at Diving for Glory, man. Of course, y'all love Sir Solomon.
Yep.
Diving. What do we think about them? Of glory.
He's not a man. There's nothing more to say.
Of glory.